Good afternoon, Teen Tech Club. This is Charles Gallo, Mr. Gallo, Mr. Charles. I forget what you're supposed to call me. We'll stick with Mr. Charles. All right. Welcome to today's Teen Tech Club. Thank you for joining me for today and hopefully the rest of this month's sessions. We will be learning about 3D design and printing. Unfortunately, the printing we won't be able to do until the library reopens. We have two new 3D printers that I would love to show everyone, maybe with some later posts or videos of them. You'll get to see them. But before that, before we can print, I will teach you how to design, how to create all of the objects that these printers can make. Okay, and we're going to do that using computer software called Tinkercad. So if you've ever used Tinkercad before, too bad, you're going to learn it again. If you haven't used Tinkercad before, then you're in luck. I am going to teach you the basics. All right. So to begin, all right, and the nice thing again about, or the nice thing about Tinkercad is it's web-based, so all you need is a computer, a web browser, and internet access. Once you go to this website here, Tinkercad, that's Tinkercad.com, Tinkercad. Okay, it'll take you to the website, and then you just need an account to get in. So if you've already used it before, again, you can just sign in. If not, you'll have to hit join now here. To create an account, all you need is a Google account even. So through school, if you already have your Google account, you can just sign in with that. All right, so I'm going to sign into my account. Charles Gallo, that's me. All right, ridgewood.buckles.org. Password, what is my password? All right, close your eyes. Oh yeah, I remembered. Go me. Okay, and in we go. So after you log into your account, you'll go to your Tinkercad dashboard. Oops, hello me. Let's close out of all these things. All right. Now, okay, so here's where you'll see all your designs if you have any. All right, today we are going to create a new design. So we'll click create new design. Okay, and into Tinkercad we go. So for today's lesson, okay, we are going to build a rocket ship. All right, feeling a little cooped up at home, trying to get away. All right, best way to do so is obviously a rocket ship. All right, now they're too expensive to purchase, so we're going to make our own today. All right, and let me just zoom out so you can see a bit more here. That's good enough. All right. Now, before we start to build, I just want to go over some basic controls of how we can manipulate our perspective or orientation. When we're dealing with 3D design and modeling, perspective is important because we'll often need to look at the top of our design or the back or the bottom or the side. So how we orient ourselves is important. So the first tool to do that is your right click on your mouse. So if you're using a mouse, this will be a little bit easier. If you're using a trackpad or touchpad, all right, you'll have to right click and as you move your cursor around, okay, you'll see that the plate, your work plane here, will start to rotate. All right, so this will allow us to, again, get to different angles of our design. Okay, we can zoom in and out. Sometimes you need to get closer or further. Okay, so to do this, just use the wheel of your mouse, or if you're on a touchpad, then you'll have to scroll in, scroll out to do that. Okay. All right, so we'll go through some other controls. Those are two basic ones that you can use as needed. All right, so let's get building. All right, so if you notice on the right side of your screen here, you can see a menu. All right, Tinkercad basic shape. So this menu will give us different different types of shapes that we can use. We're going to just start with the basics for today. All right, and again, I'm looking to build a rocket ship. So let's see, I'm going to take a cylinder here. So I'm going to grab this shape, I'm going to click it, drag it, drop it onto my plate here. All right, and there's that orange cylinder. All right, so controls for manipulating a shape here. If I left click and hold, I can grab this object and I can move it around. All right, so it's just kind of sliding around the same plane here. Okay, after I click on the object, you'll also notice these white and black squares. These represent scaling controls. So scale is size, how wide, how tall is this object going to be. So if I take this bottom right square, I can make it wider. All right, and there's numbers on the bottom and right telling you the size. So everything right now is in millimeters. You can always click in these number boxes as well and type in a specific number. So let's say I want this to be 30 by 30. All right, and then at the top here, I have another square where I can change the height. So it started at 20, and now let's say I bring it up to 50 here. All right, I have the body of my rocket. Next, let's give this thing a nose. Let's see what it looks like. Here we go, a cone. All right, so we'll take the cone. This will be the top, the pointed part of my rocket. All right, and we're going to need to change the size of this first. So again, with those scaling controls, I'm going to make this 30 by 30. That way it's the same size as this piece here, which is 30 by 30. Okay, so now that it's in here, actually I'm going to make it a little bit narrow, a little bit pointier. All right, 30 by 30. All right. Next, I want to put it on the top of my ship. So as I move it around, you're going to see that it doesn't want to go up. How do I make it go up? So the control for that you'll see is here. All right, you're going to notice that there's a black triangle at the top of the shape, and that'll allow me to raise it up. Now, how high do I need to bring it? I'm going to make it, okay, 50. Okay, this is how high I've raised it. So I'm making it 50 millimeters off the ground here because that is the height of my cylinder. All right, so now that I have these two shapes at the same height, or at the, not the same height, but at the height that I want them, I just need to center them. All right, I want this to be dead center with this shape here, but sometimes it's hard to move it around perfectly. So what we'll do is we're going to highlight both of the shapes first, and then we're going to use, oops, not that one. Here it is. So if you look on the top right, you're going to see an alignment tool here. Okay, now after you click align, the two shapes are going to have these markers underneath them. So these center markers here, if I click this one and this one here, okay, it aligns both shapes to middle, middle. Okay, so now if I look directly above, you'll see that they are perfectly aligned. All right. It's almost looking like a rocket. Now let's add some fins. All right. I got to be able to steer this thing into space, so we're going to add some pyramids. Okay, and we're going to make these look like fins. So I'm going to rotate a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to change the scale. We're going to squish these a little bit this way, and we'll squish these a little bit this way. Make it a little bit taller. All right, so now I have a fin. So I need to attach this to my ship. So I'm going to, again, move it over to the ship here. But as you can see, it's not really the angle that I want it to be. So we're going to look at angle controls now. So while I have this shape selected, you're going to notice that there's curving arrows on the bottom and sides. And that allows you to rotate the shape in a certain direction. So as I grab this top arrow, I can spin it sideways. Okay, let's see how that looks. All right, so I'm just going to move it a little bit out. and then a little bit down. So this is again when that right clicking, that angling is important because you want to be able to see, how the shape looks, how it's situated from all sides. Okay, so now I have one fin. All right, so let's say I want to add 3 more of these. Instead of having to add another pyramid, scale it, size it, rotate it, okay, let's just take this one that we've already done here. So after I select it, okay, and you can always copy and paste, but a little more quickly you can, if you look to the top left here, I don't know my directions. Okay, you can duplicate. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I clicked that 3 times. So now I should have 1, 2, and 3 copies of that. Okay, and then the next thing I need to do is just put these in place as well. So I'm going to nudge these over here, give it a little spin like that. Let's put this one here. Put that one over there. All right, this is where you can get a little dizzy, so we're gonna have to keep spinning around. All right, so I'm gonna take this shape and I'm gonna spin this one as well. And last one here. I'm gonna rotate around, grab this shape, we'll spin it, and whoop, wrong one. There we go. That is one sad looking rocket ship there, but it's got all the pieces, almost. Okay, this one's a little bit sticking out, so I can just slide a little bit over here. There we go. And last piece I need is a lookout. I want to be able to see what's going on out there. So I'm going to give myself a little half sphere. Okay, now we'll take this sphere and let's rotate it sideways. Okay. And this, we're going to move it right into the cylinder, and then we just need to raise it up. All right, everyone, call NASA. This is it. All right. So this is how you make a basic rocket ship in Tinkercad. All right. Some other fun effects you can add to it are coloring effects. Anytime you select a shape, okay, you can choose a different color from the panel here. All right, so you can make this whatever color or colors you want. And then after you finish your work, all right, on the top left here, you'll see that there's a name box. They give you a random name at all times. What a frantic Maimu Hangu is, I don't know, but I'm going to call this. Oh. Rocket. How creative of me. All right. So everyone, these are the basic tools and shapes and controls that you'll need to build a rocket ship. I'd like everyone to, in your spare time, give Tinkercad a go, see what kind of shape, what kind of rocket ship you would like to make to blast off of this world, and we will see what your creations look like next time. All right, have fun designing, everyone. Be healthy, stay safe, and I will see you next week. Mr. Charles out.